Has anyone pointed out something to you that stung, but at the same time you knew it was true? I still remember sitting in the library when a friend told me, "You say things to people in a teasing way, but they are hurtful." Another time, I was out with a friend, and on the way home she said, "Your life is going off the rails, and I'm concerned about you." Both of these instances stung, and they made me a bit angry. But it was also kind because it was helpful and true. Almost everybody in the world likes Jesus, at least in some form. To some, he's a revolutionary, an ascended master, or a prophet. To others, he's a moral teacher or an enlightened being. Many love his teachings as well, like do for others what you want them to do for you, and do not judge or you will be judged. But to be a follower, a true follower of Jesus, we need to accept all of what he said and claimed. We need to accept the bits that make us uncomfortable as well. And Jesus said a number of things that sting and make us uneasy. Luke tells the story of Jesus going through the towns and villages. He says that Jesus taught as he made his way to Jerusalem. One day someone asked him, "Lord, are only a few people going to be saved?" Jesus' answer was personal and pointed. He said, "Make every effort to enter through the narrow gate. Many, I tell you, will try to enter and won't be able to." Matthew records this teaching in greater detail in the Sermon on the Mount when he said Jesus' words, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." In a similar way, Jesus also made it very clear, as was told by John. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." In Luke, Jesus went on to give a further warning when he said this in 13:25-27. "Once the owner of the house gets up and closes the door, you will stand outside knocking and pleading, 'Sir, open the door for us.' But he will answer, 'I don't know you or where you came from.' Then you will say, 'We ate and drank with you, and you taught in our streets.' But he will reply, 'I don't know you or where you come from. Away from me, all you evildoers.'" Do you realize what Jesus is saying here? He's saying that there is no alternative route to God outside of Jesus Christ. It's not because of our heritage or because our parents were churchgoers. Neither is it through secret wisdom or creating your own reality. And you cannot do enough good for society to merit a pass. All paths do not lead to God. Now, let me also just point out here the other side of the coin. Atheists, who don't believe there's a God, attempt to escape faith altogether, but they too live by their beliefs of how life works, which has real-world implications and consequences. The narrow gate has a particular requirement for entrance, and the only way to enter into eternal life is limited to just one avenue. Salvation is found only in the person of Jesus Christ. Now, if you think that is so exclusive and unkind, let me just say this. It is the most kind and helpful thing we can do to hold up Jesus Christ. He is the only way of salvation among all other religions and worldviews. And it guards people from seeking for salvation in a place where it can't be found. But there are no restrictions based on a person's economic status, religious background, past morality, or family circumstances. Anyone is welcome and called to come to Christ, which brings us to our key spiritual insight. All are invited to enter the narrow gate that opens the way to true life. Now, entering that narrow gate is still difficult because of human pride, the natural love of sinful lives, and the opposition of Satan. All of these battle against us in the pursuit of eternity. Jesus turned this general question that was asked him into a personal answer. He said, "You make every effort," which prompts me to do the same. Force aside your desire to create yourself into your own liking. Yield to Christ in faith to enter the narrow gate that leads to full life. I tell you what is the most kind and helpful thing to your eternal well-being. And while it may be what you would like to hear least, it is what you need to hear the most.